Hello friends, and good evening. Welcome to the daily practice sheet discussion of 18th of October 2022. So guys, what I will do, first I will give you a brief overview of the today's daily practice sheet, why I have framed these questions from today's current events. We'll see the context and then we will start discussing all the answers. You can see here today we have so many questions here listed down for our discussion. So today the major highlight of the day was the report on multi-poverty index. You must have read that report also in the daily prelims notes. So a new report has come and which has said that India has been able to move a lot of people out of poverty. In that context, I have framed question from the society point of view, because the poverty topic is mentioned in the GS1 society. And I have also framed question on the issue of poverty from the point of view of governance, So we will try to discuss this issue of poverty in depth today. Next, we will discuss another important topic of basically demographic dividend. There was one editorial in Live Mint on this issue, very important one. So we'll discuss why we need to mobilize the labor potential of Indian economy. And we will also see how India's young population can take advantage of the aging population of developed world. So we'll try to understand this, and in that context, we'll try to also understand the meaning of competitiveness of an economy and what role labor productivity has in that. Next, in science and tech, we have one topic today, where contribution of Indian scientists. So you must be knowing that Mr. Dilip Mahalambis has passed away. So we'll see his contribution. Next, we will try to discuss the topic of organized crime. Guys, you must be knowing that today there was an Interpol meeting in India. In that context, we will try to cover this topic of organized crime. So I have framed the question, what do you understand by organized crime? Discuss its characteristics. It's a basic question I have framed. Then I have framed an application-based question, how big is organized crime in India? What are the legal instruments to counter it? Next, I have framed a question on differentiate between organized crime and terrorism. Are there any interlinkages between them? Next question I have framed is the nexus between organized crime and terrorism. So these are the questions which we are going to discuss. And last but not the least, we will take up one ethics topic also. So today the topic will be on corruption. We'll discuss how corruption is anti-national and anti-poor, and how this nexus of politician, bureaucrat, and businessmen basically is responsible for corruption. So let's start, guys. So first of all, let us try to take up the first topic. Is population explosion the cause of poverty, or poverty the cause of population explosion? So this question I have framed in the context that India, you all know, that is the second most populous country of the world, and it is going to be the most populous country of the world next year according to UN population prospects. So you know this. So today I will try to examine what relation population has with poverty, because today the highlight of the topic DPS is basically the issue of poverty. So let us try to interlink poverty with population. So let me just take up this first topic, first question. Guys, so one way of thinking is what? That when population is high, then what will happen? Then generally people are not able to invest. People are not able to invest in education. Suppose the family size is big, so they're not able to invest in education. They're not able to invest in health. So the productivity and earning potential is not good and they remain poor. They remain poor. Okay. Is this clear or not? Okay. Generally what happens whenever there is, okay, whenever the family size is more, they are not able to invest in education. They are not able to invest in health. So what happens? Okay. What happens? They are not able to increase their productivity. They are not able to increase their earning potential and they remain poor. You see how increase in population leads to poverty. Increase in population leads to poverty. Population also, okay, basically leads to what? Stress over, okay, or burden over resources. Burden over resources. Okay, resources. Okay, so what happens when you see that? Let us take example of agriculture. What happens? Suppose agriculture land is limited, and if your population is increasing, then what happens? Okay, the per capita land availability reduces, land holding reduces, and when land holding reduces and it becomes uneconomical, then productivity also takes a beating. Productivity also takes a beating. In India, we are not able to basically go for high investments in agriculture. We are not able to go for mechanization in agriculture. The reason is what? The reason is that the land holdings are very small. The land holdings are very small. Sometimes they become uneconomical. Sometimes they become uneconomical. That is the reason of low productivity in agriculture, and low productivity results in low income and thus poverty. On the other hand, guys, poverty also results in population. Poverty also results in population. Let me explain you how. So what happens whenever a family is poor? What it thinks that generally, if we'll have more family members, then we can earn more. Because generally when they are poor, they are not able to afford education. They are not able to afford very high quality training. So generally they do primary activities like agriculture, and in agriculture we all know that agriculture, if more hands are there, then generally it is felt that okay, they can work more and they can produce more. Okay, so that is the reason. So what we can draw a diagram, we can draw a diagram here. We can draw a diagram population, and then we can draw a diagram poverty. You see this diagram. You can see this diagram, but this is not the complete picture. Population alone does not result in poverty, and poverty alone does not result in population. There are other causes also. But this relation that population and poverty, they feed into each other is quite true. However, what matters is other factors also. For example, inequality and other things also. Okay, so it's not very simple relationship that if population will increase, poverty will definitely increase. It is not as simple as that. Okay, we have to see what is the population in relation to the resource available. What is the population in context of resource available? Guys, you must be knowing that as per the resource, the population of any country can be divided into three categories. Okay, three types of scenario can be built. One scenario is what? First scenario is what? It is overpopulation. Overpopulation is what? Where population is more than resource. Second scenario is what? Where optimum population means resource is good enough for population. Okay, for example, overpopulation example is India, Bangladesh, overpopulation. Then optimum population example is America, USA is optimum population, Europe is optimum population, and third is underpopulation. Underpopulation means they have more people, they have less people and more resources. So they have people less than resource. Okay, can you give me example of underpopulation? Today only I was reading in the newspaper, Canada is saying that please come to Canada. Okay, they are going to give so many citizenship. Canada, you know Canada? Many people go to Canada or not? Australia or not? Okay, So Canada, Australia, Russia, all these are underpopulated countries. All these are underpopulated countries. So one geography question also we can frame here. One geography question, GS1 geography also we can frame here. GS1 geography also we can frame here. Okay. So first question is clear for